just finished picking some wild dandelions out in our neighborhood, and I'm going to rinse the flowers that we just picked, and then I'm going to pluck all of the petals out and put them in plastic bags, freeze them overnight, and prepare our dandelion wine. Okay, so I rinsed the dandelions and I pulled off most of the stem, and I'm going to let them dry, and then I'm going to pluck all the petals out. I want to try and remove as much green as possible. I don't want to leave the stems in there. They do tend to make the wine taste a bit bitter, and we want a sweet, delicious dandelion wine. So once these dry out, I'll start plucking the petals out and we'll move on to the next step. Here are the primary ingredients for my dandelion wine. I have some frozen dandelion petals that I've been collecting over the week, and some dandelions that I've collected today, 3 oranges, 3 lemons, and about a pound of grapes. I'm going to pluck all the petals off these remaining dandelions, and then we're going to move on to the next step, which is making our tea for the wine. So we'll be back as soon as I finish pulling all of the petals off the dandelion. And they come right out. You want to remove as much green as possible. The green will make it taste bitter. So we'll come back once we have all of these dandelions depetaled. So that's about 7 cups. About 7.5 cups of dandelion. And now I'm going to put some orange peels and my lemon peels in here, and I'll close this off and put it into my fermenter. Now I'm going to juice my lemons. I've removed the peels. These are going to go into my tea mixture with my dandelion petals. The lemon juice I'm just going to put directly into my fermenter. These lemons have very thick peels. I'm trying not to put any of the white part of the peel. Like, I'm trying to be as thin as possible with the peel and not have that much white on it. I'm going to put this into the fermenter. I heard some pits drop in there, so I'm going to remove those. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to put all of my peels in with my dandelions. Just going to put them in the mesh bag. And I'm going to seal up the mesh bag. I'm going to tie it up. This is like my tea bag. And all of this is going to go straight into my fermenter with the orange juice and the lemon juice. Next, I'm going to juice my grapes and make my simple syrup. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to juice my grapes now. I do have a fruit press, but for this operation, I'm just going to use a potato masher. I'm going to put all of the grapes in there, also in the fermenter, because I am using just a regular fermenter. If I was using the conical fermenter, I would put these grapes and their husk inside the mesh bag with the dandelion petals. But since I don't have to worry about everything getting jammed up in the conical fermenter, I'm just going to do the most basic way possible. So here we go. You can also use just grape juice from concentrate or actual regular grape juice if you wanted to. But I'm going to try this. I've never tried this before, so it's an experiment. We shall see what happens. Okay, so here's inside of the fermenter. I have my orange juice, lemon juice, grape husk, my dandelions in the mesh bag, my orange peels, and my lemon peels. I'm just waiting for my water to come to a boil, and then I'm going to make a simple syrup. I have 10 cups of water on the stove now. As soon as that comes to a boil, I'm going to remove it from the heat and put my sugar in there. I'm going to use 4 cups of sugar. This is a 1.5 gallon fermenter. That should be plenty of sugar for the dandelion wine. So now that the water has come to a full rolling boil, I'm going to cut the heat and I'm going to put in my 4 cups of sugar. Okay, my sugar is completely dissolved into the water. I used 2 cups of white sugar and 2 cups of light brown sugar. Now that I've got the simple syrup made, I'm going to pour this directly over my dandelion mixture in my fermenter. And here is what it looks like with the simple syrup on top of the dandelion mixture. I'm going to stir this around and let it steep just like it were a cup of tea for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to fill my water line up to about 1.5 gallons. So I'll get on that. Okay, I have everything in the fermenter now. I'm going to let this steep for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then, like I said, I'm going to fill the water line to about 1.5 gallons. Okay, I removed my dandelions and lemon and orange peels, and now I am going to pitch some yeast, and I'm using Lavalin EC 1118. Also, I filled the fermenter up to 1.5 gallons. So I pitched my yeast. You can see it's already activating. It's really loving the nice environment we created with the dandelion tea. And I'm going to stir this up, cover it up, and put my airlock on, and then put it in a nice, cool, warm, dark place. Alright, so I got the yeast pitched, and I covered up the fermenter and put the airlock on. I'm going to let it ferment for 7 to 14 days. I'm going to wait till it falls clear, and then I'm going to rack it into some carboys. So we'll see you when that step is ready.